All right, here's one of my favorite books from New Zealand. Right there, Mrs. Nicol, back in the day when I was teaching. It's called Mr. Mayer's Pavlova, Palaver. So this is a very Kiwi book, and you got to have the accent to understand that it's actually rhyming, because Pavlova, Palaver, in New Zealand they don't say it they say ah. So it's Pavlova, Palava. It's a little bit tricky. But anyways, I'm going to read it with my Canadian accent, and it's got some fun New Zealand isms in it, so enjoy. And Pavlova, for those of you who are from Canada, it's a really, really good dessert, and it's made with meringue and whipped cream and fruit. And if you live in Hinton, you can go to the Old Grind and they make it there, so that's a real super treat. Anyways, let's carry on. The annual bake-off of Puddley Town brought visitors in from miles around, posturing over the perfect pavlova as villagers vied for the champion's crown. The mayor, who was proud of Puddleby's fame, in a pompously plumbery voice would proclaim, "Pavlova, Pavlova, there's nothing so nice. As official town taster, I'll judge every slice." And patting his belly, he'd look around the crowd. "It brings us together," he'd say very loud. There's his Pavlova. They're so good. Maybe I'll go make one. Never made one. But all was not well in Puddleby Town. Pavlova time always got Mrs. Mayor down. Though normally cheerful, to stop for an earful, the villagers now hurried by with a frown. With secret ingredients hidden in drawers, they pulled their blinds and locked their doors, and plotting the perfect Pavlova treat, whipped up some eggs and sugar so sweet. They wickedly whispered about the rest, "My Pavlova will surely be best." Until one night when the moon was on high, a shadowy figure crept stealthily by. Sneaking and snatching, its thieving was done, clutching and clatching until there was none. From uphill and downhill in Puddleby Town, the eggs were egg-napped, every one. You need a lot of eggs to make a pavlova. It didn't take long for the town to catch on that Pavlova's essential ingredient was gone. Mrs. Potts was the first to miss her eggs. She popped to her hen house on tottery legs. Clucking a song as she waddled along, she lifted her hens, but the eggs were all gone. No eggs. Miss Potts called Miss Nettle, who put on the kettle, and rang up the Reverend, who checked on his eggs. No eggs at the parsonage, Peter's, or Pickleby's. No eggs at Bunter's or old Mr. Beggs. No eggs for Pavlova in the village or farm. So they called on the mayor to raise the alarm. No eggs. Sort of like how there's no toilet paper right now, right? Yeah. When all of the town folks had flocked to the square, an official announcement was made by the mayor. "An enormous Pavlova palaver has flared. A state of emergency must be declared. There'll be no Pavlova, the eggs are all gone, which means that our bake-off cannot go on. But let's all calm down. We'll ask the next town for a truckload of eggs. My phone, Mr. Beggs." The egg truck soon arrived in the yard, escorted under an armored guard. But when the lock of the rig was undone, the eggs had been egg-napped, every one. No eggs. Canoodling conundrums, tattling toses, the eggs had been snatched from under our noses. But as hoots and howls harangued the square, a ransom note was passed to the mayor. "Your eggs are safe, but who can tell how much longer they'll be well? In order to see your eggs again, gather your secret ingredients and then be at the pottery works by 10. A silvery silence gobstopped the crowd, till someone stepped out and ahemed very loud. Our only way forward, said old Mr. Baggs, is working together to rescue our eggs. And so all the people of Puddleby Town rallied together both uphill and down, without any bickering, sniveling, or snickering, bringing their secret ingredients to town. Then, toting their ransom, they traipsed arm in arm to the pottery works past Pickleby's farm. Up at the ramshackle pottery shed, pinned to the door, was a note that said, "Come in." They rammed on the rickety door to reveal an enormous big bowl on a pottery wheel, heaped with sugar, and on a note, pinned to the bowl, the egg napper wrote, "People of Puddleby, one by one, add your ingredients. Then you're done." "I'll go first," said brave Miss Potts, her heart beating fast, her stomach in knots. Then one by one, with careful control, they put their ingredients into the bowl. A small dash of lemon, a teaspoon of spice, vanilla and vinegar, honey and ice, a skerrick of salt, which left only one, a pinchful of chili, and then they were done. Then everyone moved to the edge of the room, and the roof started rattling, and suddenly, boom! Down poured the egg whites out of a bowl, whooshing and splooshing into the bowl. "Our eggs!" "Hooray!" cried the mayor. "We found our eggs. Now turn on the pottery wheel, Mr. Baggs." And working together, they whipped up their cake and popped it into the kiln to bake. On bake-off morning, the crowd in the square did not get the usual speech from the mayor. "Welcome," he said, "to our gathering here, but due to our egg-napped eggs this year, we're forced to break our proud tradition. There's no Pavlova competition. Instead, let me open with salutation, our new Pavlova celebration." "Hooray!" cheered the crowd with whoops and cries, and dear Miss Potts had tears in her eyes as the mayor unveiled a big surprise. Just what was revealed when the curtain unfurled: the largest Pavlova in all of the world. "I've always said," the mayor declared, "Pavlova tastes better if only it's shared. Pavlova, Pavlova, there's nothing so nice, and this year everyone gets a slice." Then patting his belly, he turned to his wife. "Just think of all that egg-napping strife." "Yes, dear," Mrs. Mayor thought for a while. "It brought us all together," she winked with a smile. So who do you think the Pavlova egg napper was? I think it was her. There's her gloves hiding. And then here, we've got a recipe. So if you really want to make it, I'll hold it right there. You can screenshot it, and you can make Pavlova, and then you can bring me a slice. Or take a picture and show me, and I'll just drool through the computer. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.